Secret Service. I just follow what they'd like to do. So I go by Secret Service and the military. They wanted me to go on a different flight, a different plane, equal safety, but they wanted me to do it, so I do it. I do what they say. I have a lot of threats. I have a lot of threats that you don't know about. Any consequential president has a lot of threats.
New details have revealed the credible Iranian missile threat that prompted Trump's sudden and secretive departure from Turkey after the NATO summit. U.S. intelligence warned that Iranian operatives could target Air Force One with shoulder-fired missiles while Trump was still in Ankara. The Secret Service launched an elaborate protection plan involving 2 aircraft and an airport catering lorry to move Trump undetected. The presidential Boeing 747 reportedly took off as a decoy, while Trump was secretly transferred to a smaller U.S. military aircraft. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, other senior aides and journalists reportedly remained aboard the decoy aircraft as Trump flew separately. Trump publicly addressed the reported aircraft swap that occurred as he was returning from the NATO summit held in Turkey. U.S. intelligence had reportedly detected a credible threat to Air Force One involving shoulder-fired missiles during Trump's July visit to Turkey. Iranian operatives reportedly knew Trump's exact location and movements while he was staying in Ankara for the NATO summit. This intelligence assessment triggered an emergency and highly secretive security operation, according to 2 officials who spoke to the New York Times. Trump was filmed publicly boarding the blue and white presidential Boeing 747, a move that reportedly formed part of the wider deception plan. Within minutes, Trump reportedly left through the far side of the aircraft, avoiding public view and the journalists gathered nearby. Trump and a small group of senior White House aides then reportedly entered an elevated airport catering lorry positioned beside the aircraft. The catering vehicle lowered its container before driving Trump across the tarmac, allowing him to reach another aircraft without being detected. Trump then boarded a U.S. Air Force C-32A, a modified Boeing 757 that was using the call sign Reach 18. The C-32A reportedly operated with its primary tracking transponders switched off, limiting the ability of public flight trackers to follow it. The presidential Boeing 747 departed separately with White House aides and journalists aboard, reportedly serving as a decoy aircraft during the operation. During the flight, the decoy aircraft reportedly broadcast the AF-1 call sign to draw attention away from Trump's actual location. Journalists on board were repeatedly instructed to keep their window blinds closed, preventing them from seeing unusual activity during the operation. Trump's aircraft landed at RAF Mildenhall in Britain, where he was secretly moved back onto the presidential Boeing 747 before continuing onward. Trump said he followed the security advice provided by officials throughout what was described as a high-risk and covert protective operation. The episode also renewed concerns over the Boeing 747-8 gifted by Qatar to the United States in 2025 for presidential use. Reports said the gifted aircraft had missile defense systems that were inferior to those installed on the older presidential Air Force One jet.
We had a great time in Ohio, a fantastic time in Ohio. The country's doing well. The stock market's fantastic record. We have 79 records so far in a short period of time. More people are working right now in the United States than ever before, and prices are dropping fast. Iran is going fine, going just absolutely fine. We totally control the Strait of Hormuz. We have control over it. Nobody else, only us. Our Navy is unbelievable, and things are going great for our country. Go ahead.
Mr. President, can you tell us about your ride on the airport catering truck in Turkey? Why did you need to do that?
Well, it's only up to Secret Service. I just follow what they'd like to do. So I go by Secret Service and the military. They wanted me to go on a different flight, a different plane, equal safety, but they wanted me to do it, so I do it. I do what they say.
Why did they want you to do that?
I guess there was a threat out there. I didn't really ask them much about it. I get a lot of threats.
Charlie Brown has made it to the runoff election.
I heard. Good.
What are you going to do to help her get over the finish line?
Well, she just called me to thank me for the endorsement, and it's great that she's doing so well, and she's a very good woman, and she's got good genetics because she's related to Lindsay, who's a real professional. So we'll see. I'm going to call her right now. She just called me 2 minutes ago. She won by how many points?
Well, not done yet, but she's clearly
She's definitely in a runoff, and that's good. That's what you want.
You campaign for her now that
I think so, yeah.
On the turkey
I mean,
front,
just so you understand, I like the other people in the race also. They're all Trump. I mean, they're all Trumpers, but, I endorsed her. I think she's great. It's really in honor of her brother, and she's really a very smart woman. Lindsay loved his sister. More than anything else, he would tell me about his sister, that she's just outstanding. He actually said, she's better than him. That was hard for Lindsay to say. So she's out there, she's doing a great job.
Mr. President, Vision 2028 several times in the last 2 weeks. At the dinner, you put on at some point. Are you serious about seeking the third term?
Everybody asks me that question, and you know that the law is very strong on that. I'd love to run, but the law is very strong. I get asked by even tonight they're screaming at the event, 2028. Now, everybody wants me to do it, but the law is very strong. Thank you very much.
The Turkey flight, Air Force One still flew out of Turkey with press and with White House officials on it. How much is
this one went over to England, where it was shown to the soldiers.
Still at risk, even though
But this one went over to England because the soldiers wanted to see it. And it stopped, and they showed it to the soldiers, and we did a switch over there. And it was really as per the military, and I just have to do what they say. They go for safety, and I have to do what they say.
Why was it too dangerous for you to fly on Air Force One, but not
I don't know.
too dangerous
I
for the
think
press?
actually the plane that I flew on was at greater risk.
Why do you say that?
Because that would be the plane I think that they would be more likely to go for.
President, were you surprised, Mr. President, that the Secret Service was telling you to take that third plane?
No, not surprised. I have a lot of threats. I have a lot of threats that you don't know about. Any consequential president has a lot of threats. Non-consequential presidents don't get threats. And I think that I'm maybe the most consequential.
How close is Iran to pulling something off?
There's nobody's done more than me in a period of almost 6 years. There's nobody.
Were you worried about a shoulder-fired missile?
I don't worry about anything, to be honest. Whatever it is, my attitude, whatever. I don't trust Iran. Why? Are you saying I trust Iran? I'm the last person to trust Iran. They've lied to me constantly. We have total control over the Hormuz Strait right now. They don't have control. We have total control. We own it. And at some point, maybe they'll do something and then they get blown away. But right now, we're in a very good position. We have a country that has been the bully of the Middle East for 50 years. Really 51 if you think about it, right? We've been saying 47 for 4 years. And they're no longer the bully of the Middle East. Thank you very much, everybody.
Upgrade your news experience with the all-new HT app. Download now.